Hi friends, it's Susan here at the Cozy Condo. I've been MIA for a while and I'm sorry. Seems like I'm always saying that. But my husband had rotator cuff surgery 2 weeks ago. And that's a brutal, brutal recovery. I'm telling you, I have been a nurse, a maid, everything around here. I really appreciate how much he does around here now that he's not able to do it. Take the trash out, empty the trash, all the things that he did. But anyway, he's coming along. It's just a very, very, very slow recovery. And he just now has started to sleep in the spare bedroom bed, kind of sitting up. He was sleeping in the recliner, but he really can't get comfortable. It's just the way that recovery is. And he had a complete tear, so it was a pretty significant surgery. But anyway, I wanted to jump on. It's a nice day here in Virginia. I sent him outside to sit on the patio or in the driveway with Bodie. Oh, and while he's been recovering, I signed Bodie up for daycare. Well, we call it school. I say, Bodie, you're going to school today. He goes 2 days a week, and he loves it. And this morning, he went yesterday, and this morning he got up and looked at me, and he looked like he was mad at me because we weren't going to school. He just plays so hard, and he loves it, and he needs the exercise because he's a little bit overweight. So until my husband recovers completely, he's going to go 2 days a week, and then I think we're going to keep on sending him 1 day a week because he likes it so much. But anyway, I have a haul here. It's just stuff I've gathered like in the last month, hopping in and out of Target and a little bit from Hobby Lobby, one thing from Kirkland's. And then also I have been reading because there's not much else to do while I'm sitting around between having to tend to my husband and the Bodie. So I thought I would share the books I've been reading. And I will put a timestamp on here as to when I start talking about the books because I know a lot of people aren't really interested in that. It's not their cup of tea. Just like I'm not interested in cooking videos. I don't know. I'm just not. But and some people aren't interested in books, so that's okay too. But I know a lot of you are. So I wanted to share with you what I've been reading. But first, let's start with the haul. And I got a couple things from Home Goods. We have a Home Goods now in a shopping center pretty close to me. So I went in there maybe 2 weeks ago, and I got this really pretty runner. It's coming up more gray, but it is blue, a really pretty blue. And this is like a screen print design on here, and it has tassels. And it looks great on my dining room table, and it was only $12.99, so I thought that was a good price for a runner. It's pretty long. I've got it doubled here, and the design is on both sides. And then also while I was there, I picked up a new pillow because you know I needed a new pillow, right? You know I did. I did get rid of some pillows though. So it's just an off-white. It's really pretty. It has like some needlework, yeah, like embroidery on it. And it's a lumbar pillow. And I think I paid $19.99. But to be honest, I don't really remember, but it's really pretty. So that's all I got from Home Goods. Let's see. We may as well do Hobby Lobby. I've made a couple trips to Hobby Lobby because I have a high school friend that lives out in not too far from the area where Hobby Lobby is, and we've met a couple times for lunch. So I'm like, I go to Hobby Lobby real quick and then we go meet for lunch. So that's how come I've got 2 trips to Hobby Lobby. So a lot of it is florals. And I wanted to get these, florals before they sold out because I know they're really popular. It's these, they look like mini, well, they're like snowballs, but kind of look like mini hydrangeas as well. But I think they're more like a lime green snowball, but the leaf is also kind of shaped like a hydrangea leaf. So I don't know what they are, and it doesn't say. And I went twice because I bought some. Well, I think I bought 3, and I thought that's not enough. So I went back and I bought some more. So I think I've got a total of about 7 because I've got a couple places I want to put them. But they're going to look really pretty. Whoops, it's tangled up. In one of those fanny baskets I have, just kind of laying over the side of the basket. And they were regularly $12.99. Of course, they were half. And to mix in with those, I got these little flower thingies. I don't even know what they're called, but I thought they're really pretty, and I like the way they drape. And I thought that they would be really pretty draped over the edge of the basket. And they were $13.99, regular price. Can you see the flower? I think total I have 3 of these. And then for some reason I saw this today when I was there, and I thought it would look pretty added. I only bought 1, but do you get what I'm going for, the real droopy look? And this was regularly $17.99, and I think that's why I only bought 1, because even at half price, I think that's a little high. Just, you know, I can't buy a whole bunch of this, but I thought that's really pretty. And I also bought some new coasters. I've needed some new coasters, and I saw several YouTubers haul these, and these, of course, were in the spring shop. They were $16.99, but 40% off. So I thought they were really cute. I'm sure you've seen them on other YouTube channels. Hauls. This. Can't even remember what. Oh, this is nothing special. This is just some asparagus bushes, asparagus fern bushes, and I got those. This was not on sale when I was there, but you know, Hobby Lobby's not extremely close to me, so it's not somewhere I can pop in and out real quick. And so I only saw 1, and I thought I better go ahead and get it. I just thought it was so cute. This little bird, and I took the tag off him. He's wrought iron or metal, some kind of metal. I would say wrought iron. And I think he was $14.99, which is kind of pricey for a little bird, but I think he's so cute. And I have him over here, and I'll show. Well, you can see this tray I got from Target. I think it's Threshold. Yeah, it was Threshold, and it was $35. And I'm gonna tell you, it's really pretty and really heavy. I wanted this thing, and I talked myself out of it about 3 different times when I went to Target. I said, you don't need it, you don't need it, you don't need it, you don't need it. And then I had one of those, I'm feeling sorry for Susan today because she's trapped in the house with the patient and the dog. So I said, Susan's gonna get that. So I bought it, and I think it looks really pretty on my coffee table. And so I just added the little bird on it. Isn't that cute? I'll do a close-up on that in just a minute. And one of my trips to Walmart to get groceries, I bought this piece of pottery. Actually, it's a planter. It's got the little plug in it. I think it's really unique looking. And it was, I think it was $5.97, $5.94, whatever Target's 90-somethings are, but just under $6. And I had these Real Touch tulips, and I just plopped them in there, and I think it's really, really pretty. And it looks very nice on this tray. And it made me feel good. Getting that tray made me feel really, really good. So there you go. And what else? Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped off of Hobby Lobby. See, I'm out of practice here. So I'm really into barns. Barns are my thing. So of course this week, wall decor was 50% off. So I got this, and I'll take a picture and insert it as to where I have it hung. And I took the price off. I think it was $24.99, then half price. But it's so cute. And then this little one was $19.99, and I got it half price as well. So they really have a lot of barns out, and I think I started really getting into barns a couple years ago, and excuse me, my nose itches. I don't know, I guess it's a thing now. I didn't know that when I got into it, but oh well. And then I also hauled this picture from my utility room, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen other people haul it. I looked at it, it was $34.99, and I looked at it each time I went. You don't need it, you don't need it, you don't need it. But again, you know, I'm like, Susan, get it, just get it. And my husband was like, just get what you want. Don't make so many trips back over there. I'm like, okay, that's all you need to say. I'm on it. So I got what I needed. And I needed this. So that's going in my utility room. I just was trying to freshen up things that were on the walls, and I don't know, I've had some of the stuff hanging for so long, I just needed a fresh look. Now, I was at TJ Maxx and I found this little pottery piece. I just put these little flowers in it. I switched out everything last week from the winter to something springy looking. I'm not full blown spring yet, but I just had to have something that makes me happy. And this was $7.99. I think it's really pretty. It's pretty heavy too. And I stopped in Kirkland's because last night I was just strolling around on the Kirkland site looking to see if there was anything new and exciting. And I saw this basket and I just thought it was really pretty. It's black. The weave is black, and then the stays, I guess that's what they're called, is just a brown color, and it's pretty good size. And I thought I might do an arrangement on my front door in this, and maybe I could even use some of these, these. Look how huge though. Look, this stem is ginormously long, but these would be really pretty hanging over the basket. I don't know, probably don't get the idea, but anyway, this was $34.99. But I've been wanting a really nice basket for my door, so I went ahead and bought that. As you can tell, I was having, I feel sorry for Susan Day. Now, back to Target, I also picked up this was, I believe, $15, just for, I have a candle sitting on it. I thought it was really pretty. You can use it for a lot of different things. Candles, you can use it at your sink for your little soaps or whatever, but pick that up. Also, I ordered this from Amazon, this wreath, because if you watch Traditions by the Season with Liz, she showed this, and it's a really pretty wreath, and I believe it was like $14.99. It was, and don't quote me on these prices because I can't remember. It's not super large, but I have it hanging on the mirror in my foyer, and it's just so pretty. And the little white berries, it just looks like spring. It has little buds coming out on it, like spring is just about to bust open. So I thought that was really pretty. And I have one more thing, I believe. Yep, one more. I threw the YouTuber Southern Vintage. Oh my gosh, I'm butchering her name. Vintage South, I think her name. Nicole. Her name is Nicole Cole. And I'll put her name in here. I'll look it up and make sure. She had ordered some things from this lady on Instagram. And I liked what she had ordered, so, and I have been always wanting one of these. It's a marmalade jar, and they're very, very hard, at least for me, to come by. I look at them every time I go to a vintage market, a estate sale, anywhere that might have something like this. And they're English. They're from, this one's from London, and it's dated 1862, and it's a Dundee marmalade jar. And it was pricey. It was $55. But I love it, and I love it so much. I ordered another one, and I'll put the lady's name that I ordered it from. It's like Rusty Vintage something. I'm sorry, I should have looked this up, but I just kind of did this impromptu video, so I will put it on the screen. Super nice. Her name is Ellie. Couldn't be any nicer. And so I ordered another one because you really gotta have three. So, maybe I'll get another one. But I'll tell you, my mother-in-law had one of these on a shelf in her kitchen, and I eyeballed it for years and years. Never said anything to her because I didn't want her to think, I was, wanting her to give me something. And probably somewhere along the last 6 months of her life, it wasn't there anymore. So I don't know if she gave it to somebody else or it fell off the shelf. I don't know. It was not there when we went through the house to clean things up, and it was right on that shelf in the kitchen. So I was real disappointed that I didn't get it. I love it, and I put these old pieces of silver in there, and I just have it sitting like that in my kitchen on some scales. Let's see. I think that's all for the haul. So now we'll get on to the book review. Well, for those of you who are staying for the book review, I have 4 books to review. And one of them, I'll tell you. The first book is by Ellen Marie Wiseman. And I have reviewed like 3 other of her books. And I love the way she writes. She writes about social issues, not necessarily in present day, but maybe from, say the Depression or past social issues. And this book is called The Lost Girls of Willowbrook. And this is based on a true incident, a true thing that happened in Willowbrook School. What is it called? Willowbrook State School. Willowbrook State School. It was on Staten Island in New York. Real school, real tragedy that happened there. And, it was established back in the day when people who had Down syndrome children or mentally challenged children, they didn't know what to do with them. And doctors would always say, well, you just need to institutionalize them. And that's how that school got started. And you can go on YouTube and search Willowbrook State School, and you will come across some documentaries that were done about the school. And interestingly enough, Geraldo Rivera is the one who did a documentary back in the 60s, or maybe it was early 70s, and exposed the horrific conditions of this school. It was just extremely overcrowded, understaffed. It was just horrible. And you should watch the documentary if that's something you want to watch. I mean, it's very sad. So anyway, this book is based on that true, real school that existed. And it is about a girl named, what was her name? Good thing I wrote this down. Her name was Sage Winters. And she was 15 years old. Her mother had died. She had a stepfather who really didn't care anything about her. She also had a twin sister, Rosemary. And Sage was told that Rosemary died. I think maybe when she was about 4 or 5 years old. And so that's what she thought. And she knew something was wrong, that Rosemary wasn't normal. but she was a young kid too. She didn't know. Well, she found out that the staff from Willowbrook had called her stepfather to let them know that her sister had disappeared. Well, here Sage thought her sister was dead. Her stepfather didn't care because it wasn't his natural child. The mother was dead. He really only had Sage there just to, I guess, because he felt obligated. He didn't really care for her. So this book is about Sage's journey traveling to Willowbrook by herself on a bus and what she discovered there. And it was bad. It was really bad. And something happened to Sage at the school, but I don't want to go into that because it really would spoil the story. But while Sage was there, that's when Geraldo Rivera came to do his interview. And it does have a good ending, pretty much the ending you would expect, but it shows that in the end that Willowbrook School has been exposed for their horrific, terrible, the injustices that these people had to endure that were placed there. And, it's really sad because parents back in that day, they were poor. I mean, I don't want to say all of them were poor. There were probably some very wealthy ones there, but they put the child there, their life went on. They may have started out going to visit on a regular basis, but as the child grew and the family's life grew and maybe had more children and maybe the family moved on, the children were not visited and they grew up to be adults. And even though it started out as a children's school, they had nowhere else to place these kids once they were adults, so they were still there. So anyway, I do highly recommend this book. It was really, really good. Anything this lady writes is good. Now, the next book I read, my sister gave it to me for Christmas, and it's called The Moonshiners Daughter, and it's written by Donna Eveehart. Now, it is very well written, but it was sad from the first page and sad to the last page. And it's one of those you just keep reading because you think it's got to get better. It just has to, but it doesn't for the characters in the book, I should say. The setting is in the mountains of North Carolina, and it's about a father and his two children. The children's names are Jesse and Merritt, a boy and a girl. Jesse and Merritt is the boy. And the mother has died. It does address that in the book. And their hard life in the mountains when their daddy's a moonshiner. And, the things they saw and the things they had to do to survive. And it was just very sad. It was very well written. Maybe you would like it, but you got to go into it knowing that's just the way their life was there, and probably was the way life was for moonshiners who had to that's the only way they had to earn a living. And the law was constantly after them. So, anyway, there's that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, the next book. I had to read something upbeat. So this is Wendy Wax's book. And I love anything by Wendy Wax. And it's called 7 Days and 7 Nights. This book was written, I think, in 2007. But she rewrote it and re-released it because back in 2007, there wasn't Instagram or TikTok or anything like that. So she wanted to incorporate that into this book. And it is about two people, a lady, and her name is she's a PhD doctor, Olivia, and a guy named Matt. And they both work for a radio station in Tampa, Florida. And Olivia, her show is Live with Liv, or let's see, I'm sorry, I read it a while back. Live with Liv. And the Matt's show, Liv's show was in the morning and Matt's show was at night, was guy talk, macho guy talk. and Liv, because she was a PhD, she wanted to help women solve their issues with men and whatnot. So it's about their relationship. The news company that they worked for in Tampa, Florida, was having a campaign, a food drive. And the reason this book is called 7 Days and 7 Nights is they challenged Olivia and Matt, kind of like big brothers, to live in an apartment, not going out, for 7 days and 7 nights. Do their show. They were doing their show from the apartment, and it was known at the station that they had this big rivalry, and she didn't like him and he didn't like her and so forth. So they put him in this apartment for 7 days and 7 nights. So there you go. You got to read it to find out if they survived it. So the next book is Boys from Biloxi by John Gresham. Now, I had seen on TV, someone was doing a review of it and said it was the best book John Gresham has written. I didn't think it was his best book, but it was a good book and it's worth reading. It's a very good story. And it takes place in Biloxi, Mississippi. And it's about these immigrant families who came over from Eastern Europe and settled down in the peninsula of Mississippi, and how they made a life down there, and how the kids got along and played. And it starts with the parents coming over and settling, and then the kids growing up together as friends, and then goes on from there. Now, one family kind of went the way of the underground. They dabbled in moonshine, or I think in Mississippi they had a liquor law. You couldn't sell liquor, and this one man had bars and he sold liquor, and he had strippers, and then this other family, and that family that had the bars, they had a son named Hugh, and this other family, the guy came through the ranks and worked hard, went to law school. His name is Jesse, and he had a son named Keith. And it's really compares how these two families lived in the same community but had different lives, and how their lives intersected. Now, Jesse became the district attorney, and then he became a state's attorney. And so the story is how Jesse is trying to get the underground liquors stopped, and the pornography and all that, and how the families their lives intersected, and what happened doing that. So it was really good. It was, it's based on a lot of true facts, and I enjoyed it. I really did. Now, I just thought I'd give you a peek at the one I'm reading now. It's called The Paper Palace, and it's written by Miranda Cowley Heller, and it's a Reese Witherspoon book. And I'm just about 100 pages into it, but it's really good. The setting is in Cape Cod, and I'll have to review it when I'm finished, but I just thought I'd show you what I'm reading. It's really good. So anyway, that's about all I have. I just kind of hopped on here kind of impromptu because it was a nice day and my husband could go sit outside for a few minutes. I'll be back when I can. I just can't promise anything. It was his right shoulder, so he kind of can't do anything. I have to do everything for him. I even had to clip his fingernails. Ugh. And also, my mother's moving again. Yes, she's lived there 3 months, and she's moving. Let's see, October, November, December, January, 4 months. She's lived there 4 months. It's a nice apartment. She loves her apartment, but she's just not happy there. It's very different from the senior apartment she lived in before. And there's just not a lot of activities there. And my mom's old apartment, they had a lot of activities. And my mom needs a lot of interaction because she tends to stay to herself if she doesn't have a reason to get up and get out. And she does like playing card games and stuff, and they just don't have that where she lives. And a lot of the residents in her new senior apartment that she moved into, they work, or they there's just not a lot of interaction. So at the end of the month, she's going to move. It's even closer to me. Before she was far away, then she moved closer. Now it's like 7 minutes up the road, in a very nice independent senior living place. It will also progress to when she needs assisted living or if she needs memory care. It's, you know, a one-shot deal. And, you know, they serve meals there. That was another thing that was concerning us because my mother does not cook. And she wasn't eating right. And she's a diabetic. She has a heart issue. So she needed to exercise, which she wasn't getting. And she needed to eat correctly, which she wasn't doing. So this new place she's going to, it's a nice apartment. It's a little smaller than the one she has now. But it's it's much more upscale than where she's at. When you go in, you have a concierge, and it's like walking into a hotel, to be perfectly honest with you. And, you know, I think she's going to be much happier here. And I'm just sorry that she has to move again because, you know, it's expensive to move. But the important thing is that she's happy. And it has really worried my sister and I that she was not happy. And, you know, she didn't want to complain, but we knew it. We could tell she just wasn't happy. So, end of the month, she's moving again. So hopefully this is it. I said, Mom, if you're not happy here, you'll never be happy. So hopefully she will be. And then my husband starts physical therapy at the beginning of March. So hopefully once I get that stuff behind me and get my husband so he's able to use his arm a little bit more, I can join the real life again because it's kind of been stuck away in the house unless I could sneak out and go shopping or sneak out and have lunch with Brenda. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know what was going on and show you what I've been doing, and I really appreciate you stopping by. And if you if you didn't watch the book thing, not hearing this. But anyway, I will put a timestamp as to when the book review starts. So until I see you next time, whenever that is, you guys take care. And just know I do think about you, and you're very important to me. And I enjoy and I miss talking to you, all my virtual friends, through the comments that you leave. So take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.